Hi, everybody. My name is Bheki and I'm the creative director at Ben& Co Designs. As the director and owner, my duty is to make sure that Ben& Co Designs is or will be around for the longest time. I take great inspiration from jewelry companies that have been here for decades and years, and the brand has been passed on to the next generation. And that's exactly what I strive for. I wish that Ben& Co can survive and can be given to the next generation and the next generation. So as a business owner, that's my main goal. That's my main focus. My journey after the Shining Light has been the most amazing for my career. It still feels like a dream come true because when I entered the competition, I did not even think or foresee that I'll be getting all the recognition and all the perks that I'm currently getting. It's one of the biggest competition, and it has really, really contributed a lot in my career. I mean, today I'm able to run a retail store in the jewelry industry because of the Shiny Lights competition that I won many years ago. That's how much of an impact it has been in my life. I mean, it has opened so many doors for me. And the Shining Light competition will always be something that I carry with, something, my pride and joy, something that I carry with. It's always going to be a story that I will never get tired of telling. It's just been an amazing journey. Now, today I'm going to share my top 10 tips on how to submit or how to package a winning design. My first tip would obviously be study the brief, study exactly what is required of you. Study the brief thorough so that when you start designing, you design something that you've already studied, something that you already understand and can articulate into a design. Secondly, plan as much as you can. I mean, plan your drawings, plan your rationale, your plan everything that you need to plan around. I mean, yes, it's a design, but plan around the design, how you're going to execute the design, how you're going to interpret the design on paper. Tip number three, make sure that you choose or go for a design that can sell, a design that is not too complicated, a design that is easily to interpret. Try perfect your design on paper in terms of drawing. So draw as much as you can. If you take one design, just break down the design into maybe four items, and draw and only submit the drawing that you feel you are comfortable with. You feel that is a winning piece. The minute you feel that that is your winning piece, I'm sure I'm sure you would have had the confidence that that is the winning piece. So draw as much as you can, a lot of sketches, but at the end of the day, choose one um, picture, one drawing that you're very, very confident about. So judges look at or they go for your rationale first. So they go through the rationale before looking at the actual picture. So also make sure that your rationale speaks, paint a picture on your rationale before the drawing, before the actual drawing, so that the judge, once the judge goes and have a look at your drawing, they already know and already understanding. So it makes things easier for them. So try and draw or try and paint the picture in words for the judges. So meaning when they read your rationale, it should be clearly articulated. It should clearly describe the piece and who is the piece made for before they can even look at the sketch or the drawing. I take a lot of inspiration from architecture. So what I do is if I take something from a building, I take that and I break it down into many possibly many jewelry items and then only submit the ones that I'm confident about. But also in your rationale, try and make the person that's going to go through your design to understand where actually the inspiration comes from. Because I think as a creative, um, it says a lot about the creative if you're going to articulate yourself correctly on how you got to the final piece. So your inspiration is also very, very important. Find an inspiration that you can take from and then turn that into jewelry item. Understanding drawing. So remember that you're drawing on paper, so it's actually 1D. So try your level best to draw so that your image is 3D, so that your image it clearly speaks for itself. It's self-explanatory. So the person that's looking at your picture can look at the top view, the side view, the perspective, and can exactly understand what is it that you're trying to interpret on the drawing. So that is very, very important. I've seen how it can throw off many designers whereby they've got this good vision and this Great idea. And when it's time to put it on paper, it's a completely different story because they don't understand or they cannot express themselves in design. They cannot express themselves on the technical aspects of the design. So try your best to articulate yourself and express yourself as much as you can on the picture, on the actual drawing itself. So meaning it needs to be something that can be easily worn. It needs to be something that can sell. It needs to be something that's not too heavy when wearing it. It needs to be something not that's not too light. So there's a lot of things that needs to tie in terms of designing a winning piece. It needs to be a piece that can be a red carpet piece, and at the very same time, it can be worn every day if the brief says commercial. But try your best to be as technical as you can be, more especially that you're drawing on paper. Try your best so that whoever is looking at your design can easily pick up what you're trying to draw. Another winning piece, another winning tip is that do your research in terms of what sells, what kind of diamond sells, how much is the diamonds and how much gold is it? Because when you are asked to design a commercial piece, it's a commercial piece means it's something that can not easily sell but has the potential to sell. So don't go and design something that will cost millions of rands and yet you are claiming it's a commercial piece. That's not a commercial. A commercial piece is something that it ranges from X amount to X amount. So do your research in terms of understanding what is it that is commercial, what is it that when they say commercial, what exactly they are looking for. Another tip that I can give is that when you are required to enter more than one piece, meaning your main piece, you're asked to enter a ring and a bangle and earrings or pendant, try your level best not to design one focal point, right? And turn that into a ring, pendant, and earrings whatsoever. Try and tell a story on all those four items that you are required to submit. So what I mean is your ring should not be too different from your pendant, but it must not be exactly the same thing. So I've seen a lot of designers where they just go and take one focal point of the item and take that and turn it into a ring, earrings, and pendant. For me, I don't think that's being creative. I think what you need to do is to try your best and and break it down. But at the end of the day, it needs to be a collection. It needs to speak one language. It needs to tie in. So your design needs to tie in and not just look the same, basically. Also do research on the technical side of things, meaning design, because remember the judge would probably know and understand how the piece would look like. So design something that if I had to take it now and turn it into a jewelry item, there would not be any issues, meaning make sure that your claws are the thickness or required thickness for a jewelry item. Stones don't fall out. Make sure that the model or the person that's going to be wearing that designer piece is able to wear it and they are comfortable. Nothing is too sharp, nothing is sticking out, no clothes are too big or too small. So make sure that everything on the technical side of things works perfectly and it's designed accordingly. I've seen many designers design. For example, they would take a elephant tusk and they would design and make the point very very sharp. I've seen designers take inspiration from a hat and they would design exactly the hat and turn it into a jewelry item and claim that it's a commercially viable piece. So instead of taking the entire hat that you've taken an inspiration from, try and take small elements from the hat, but at the same time, when I'm reading or when the person is looking at your piece, it ties in nicely with your rationale and the item. So what all I'm trying to say is that do your thorough research on technicality, do your thorough research on the rationale, do your thorough research on your inspiration because I feel it's very important, and do your research in terms of the weight. Can a particular piece weigh on average? What is the maximum weight for a bangle, for example? What is the maximum weight for a ring? What is the maximum weight for earrings? Because earrings, remember, they earrings. You have to design earrings so that they're not too heavy for the person that's wearing it. They need to be comfortable. A pendant can, if you design a pendant and it's so heavy, yet you are pairing with a small chain, does it work? Does it align? Does it actually speak to one another? So look at all of those things before submitting your beautiful pieces. And I think the last tip that I can give, try and design something that will last forever or has like good quality, use good quality materials. I've seen how some of the most amazing jewelry items, but they have incorporated a a, a plastic or perspex piece into the design. There's nothing wrong with that, but try and look at the maintenance side of things, because remember, when you're asked to design something commercially viable, it means somewhere out there somebody would want to buy that piece and they want to wear that ring. So nobody wants to buy an expensive ring, and yet the maintenance is it becomes very expensive for them, or there's plastic pieces that would come off or anything. So try your best that when you use anything other than the precious gemstones or precious metals, it's something that can last for a good number of years, so that there's when you put your price on your item, it actually justifies the material that is being used. I've seen a lot of designers use rope. There's nothing wrong with rope, but think about maintenance, think about longevity, think about what happens if the rope breaks. I've seen designers use wood. Think about the person that's going to be wearing that beautiful item. Now they're restricted to swim with their item. Think about that because of the wood. So think about all of those things. So in short, I would just like to say, in order for you to enter a winning item, technicality, um, study your rationale, study your inspiration, understand your inspiration, understand what is commercial, understand a red carpet. If you have to infuse the two, understand exactly how to infuse a red carpet piece in a commercial piece. Understand what type of material you're going to use. Understand the weight. Understand not to go over the top in terms of the materials that you're going to use. So understand exactly what you're looking for before you can even submit the piece. Try and do as many sketches as you can before submitting the piece. Try and not take inspiration from a building and draw that building and turn that building into a a a, a jewelry item. I remember when I entered the competition, my inspiration was a fish fin. So I've just taken the fin and I've done a repetition of the fish fin, and in between the fin, I've set it with diamonds. So that was my inspiration. I've looked at the fish, and from the entire fish, I've just taken the fin. So try your level best that when you take your inspiration, because that's where the creative juices starts from. Try your best that whatever inspiration you take and you don't do a repetition of that. You take that inspiration and you turn it into something of your own, something that you believe is good and something that can work.